There's some good news and bad news with the Jets-Ravens injury report. We'll talk about that. We're in South Bend, baby. I've got several special guests that'll be joining us here on the show. What the? Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, everybody, I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcasts. As you can see, we're on the move. As we've indicated all week long, we're in South Bend for Notre Dame. We've got Hop on Pop here, who I'll give a proper introduction to here in just a second. And we'll talk about the latest injury report and all that jazz. A heads up, everybody, our normal Friday shows are very long, which I love, talking to the fans and everything. They will be shorter this weekend with all the Notre Dame festivities happening out there. So just a heads up, people, with that coming on. But first, let's welcome in guest numero uno. We have multiple guests today. Hop on Pop, which you'll be with us all weekend.
Hey now, good morning, Coffee Club. Here we go.
There we are. Notre Dame, Syracuse tomorrow. We'll get to peruse the campus and other matters. We'll see everything that's going to be going on. But someone that does a lot of perusing is Bob Lederer. He is a author extraordinaire. He has become a part of the Boy Green Coffee Club family, and he joins us right now. So we're going to have Hop on Pop and Bob Lederer. It's like the A-team or something. What's going on here, Bob? Good morning.
Well, I'm on the move, too, because we've got our grandkids here for the weekend.
Oh, nice.
And that's why I look like I'm in the dark, because the light in the room from one of my son's rooms is behind me instead of on me. I may just feel like adjusting myself as the program goes on.
Okay.
And just
feel free to do that. I assume that was the darkness from this Jet season at 2-8, but it could be for a lot of reasons. Yeah.
Bob kind of looks like Hannibal, you know.
As I've told you previously, I have Fernando mania.
Hey, Fernando mania is a great thing to have, and we'll explore some of that. Hell, I was asking a lot of advice and tips and tricks for coming to Notre Dame. I reached out to a lot of people in my circle, and one of them works at Pro Football Focus. His name is Dalton Wasserman. I said, hey, have you ever been up here? He's like, yeah, I've only been up once. I was up for the Notre Dame-Indiana game for the college football playoff, and I was like, well, that's a hell of a one to go to, man. And the atmosphere was electric. No Fernando Mendoza on that team. He was on Cal the year before transferring over here. But, yeah, I'm excited for the Fernando Mendoza experience. What I'm not excited about, to start this off, boys, is the injury report. We'll start off on the Ravens side first. Lamar Jackson, who did not practice on Wednesday with a brand new injury, we're like, maybe better for my beard that perhaps he doesn't play. Full participant yesterday in practice. Lamar looks good to go for the game on Sunday. So, they will certainly have Lamar. It doesn't look like they're going to have Rashad Bateman. He didn't practice for the second straight day. Their all-pro safety, Kyle Hamilton from
Notre Dame, baby.
He did not practice on Wednesday, but was a limited participant on Thursdays, battling both a shoulder and a groin issue. And there was a lot of full participation bump-ups for guys like Justice Hill, Marlon Humphrey. We already mentioned it for Lamar. And then we'll see on the rest of their cast of crewing characters. They're having some offensive line issues as well, with a couple of guys as DNPs and limited. So TBD there. But Lamar is full go. What chances are you giving the New York Jets against the Baltimore Ravens, Bob Lederer?
Well, I'm giving him great chances because I'm looking forward to.
Oh, that's messed up. I thought we were all on the same.
It's going to be nice to see you, and you're going to be twins.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Although he's going to have more length than me if this goes in that direction.
Well, I mean, if you want to make it 3 in a row, then maybe we can.
Oh yeah, there you go. Double or nothing. Get a full body.
Yeah, make it 3 in a row. And each week he gets a little bit more trimmed.
Yeah, the Falcons, I feel a little bit better about that one next week than these Patriots-Jets games back-to-back, so that
Maybe-
would help.
Maybe the fans want to hear you go, Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, I don't know if any Steve Carell 40-year-old virgin is necessary here. See, I was able to get that one on the show. And here's okay. So Lamar's playing great. All right, that's that
But you
makes
know what? Their backup quarterback just completely smoked Bears a couple of weeks ago. So I mean, he had really had no. There was no inkling that he could play like that, but he played a great game against Chicago 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Oh, Huntley, right?
Yeah. So he's not going to be
Cool.
easy pickings either if Lamar doesn't go or can't go.
I'll be curious though because they pay decent money to Cooper Rush to be the backup, and he had been terrible in all of his starts so far this season. 0 touchdowns, 4 picks. Again, previously he was pretty good with the Dallas Cowboys. He has not been as good with Baltimore this year. So, right, would they go to Huntley? Would they go to Cooper Rush? What would they do? It looks like they will have to explore those waters outside of an injury. Although Lamar's been battling ankle, knee, and hamstring issues this season, he has not looked the same. So even if he plays, we'll be interesting in that. Get your snap away from you. Which another Steve Carell reference, by the way.
Hey, you should get a razor company to sponsor that.
I wish I had.
There you go. Put it on my tab. Put it on my tab.
Yeah, there you go. We should continue
plenty,
to get
plenty of companies out there. It's big business these days.
There is. We'll look at it. I'll also tell you this, something that is a real cup of suck, and this guy just can't stay healthy for us. We go to the Jets injury report. Kane Nguanu did not pop up on the injury report on Wednesday. He popped up on Thursday, which means for people that don't know, and I explain this all the time when these things pop up in the world, that means Kane was hurt somewhere between the end of practice Wednesday and the beginning of practice Thursday. And when you get pop-up injuries like this, they're never a good sign. And a hamstring, which is the same issue that kept Kane Nguanu out for a large chunk of this season, he did not practice Thursday, and I feel very not good at all about his participation in this game, which stinks because he's totally changed the game for us from a return perspective. He's been dynamic. Isaiah Williams has been really good. And when they've been together, a kicking team has no choice. Those are the only 2 returners back there, and you got to kick it to one of them with Kane Nguanu potentially set to miss here. That's a devastating blow for the Jet special teams units here, Bob.
I hope Nguanu didn't hurt himself getting away from the dinner table.
Yeah, it could have happened again with a DNP and a hamstring injury coming up here, which is unfortunate. I see, because we're going to be talking about your boy Fernando in a minute. I see EZ has a super chat here, Zryla.
Wow.
Coming off the Thursday night game, Buffalo loses to Houston. And I saw someone have this tweet out that in the same season, the Bills have taken out Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, and Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, and whoever the other guy was, like all the Patrick Mahomes. But they've lost to Davis Mills, Michael Penix, and this other random guy this season. So what a roller coaster year it's been. But EZ's on the train for Davis Mills from the Texans. He has a $7 million deal. Do you have any interest in Davis Mills, Bob Lederer?
I can tell you I probably have never watched him play.
Yeah. I've seen him a handful.
We've been talking all week. You've been talking all week about options for next year.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't know. I think Mac Jones might be the best choice. But, one of the things that has not been brought up is that the San Francisco really want to trade their second string quarterback who has played with great vigor this year and had to because their first string was hurt. If he hadn't been there, they'd be hurting at the quarterback position. But with him at what, $4 million a year, $3 million a year?
3.5. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bargain, and he's given him probably way more than maybe the average fan thought he would. But San Francisco, obviously, that's a haven for wayward quarterbacks who need to get straightened out. To look at all the guys that have gone in there, even for half a season, and come out a more polished version.
Yeah, that Bob, I would tell you that San Francisco it's all about the system.
Yeah.
Right. So, it's like the Denver Broncos of back when they were winning the Super Bowl of the running backs. Yeah. Right. It was running backs. Right. It was the system.
And it was the offensive line. It was where the offensive line blocked. They had their blocking scheme was very different in those days. Today, it's pretty common.
Right. And so I would be a little leery, right? Mac Jones was let go by the Patriots. there's your sign. You could start off with there's your sign. And so it may look shiny in San Francisco. And then when you take it out, you're like, oh, this is Mac Jones. So you got to recognize with the system. Before we go anywhere else, I'd like to do a shout out to my lovely wife.
There you go. That's beautiful. Thank you for doing that. I would say just to your other point.
Do you know her, Paul? You know his wife?
No, I've seen her a couple of times. So I'm generally familiar. Yeah.
So that's how moronic he is. When he asks her to make him some special food in the next week, and she's going to go, remember when you said you didn't know me?
I said I do. I generally am familiar with her. Yes.
She's one of the few people that can honestly say she knew you before.
That's true. Yeah, she's a massive supporter. So I appreciate all the love. I'm not here today without her. That is just science. But I will say to your other point on Mac Jones, like, would they want to get rid of him? It's an interesting question because they wouldn't get rid of him for nothing. Again, he's $3.5 million. That's a 48th highest paid quarterback in football. Maybe that will be more important than any draft pick within reason that they could get, and they'd rather have that insurance for next year. Now, he would be a free agent after that and potentially could lose him for nothing or a comp pick, which they've been very good at the comp pick bingo game. So that's another possibility for sure. But, to trade an expiring contract, a guy you paid nothing for, when he was traded from the Patriots to Jaguars, the Patriots got a 6th-round pick. And then he did nothing in Jacksonville, became a free agent, and then smartly on the 49ers side signed him to a 2-year deal so they'd be protected in a situation like this, that Mac Jones doesn't just do a chew and screw situation. He's here for a year and then immediately hits free agency and signs it big. They signed him that 2-year deal, which was very smart. So who knows if they're even willing to move him. The only reason that I think we even explored as an option is Ian Rappaport said that he's going to get legitimate trade interest and that he thinks the 49ers are going to consider it. So I guess we'll see where it goes from there. But I would tell you easy on Davis Mills. I don't know, man. Well, I'll tell you this. I have to repeat my same message I said throughout the week. We need to consider every option. I can't brush anyone aside. So Davis Mills may not be the sexiest option, but he's a guy, obviously, that just upset the Buffalo Bills yesterday. They have no C.J. Stroud, and he was able to help the team. So you got to give credit where credit's due. So, yeah, that's an option to consider. Not as sexy, but certainly an option to consider. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because last year, right, the Jets have always had this, caviar dreams and champagne wishes about quarterbacks, and they poo-poo. Oh, well, we're too good for Danny Dimes. We're too good for this quarterback. And the fact is, the Jets aren't too good for any quarterback. They need to come out with a multiple layer strategy, get a veteran, draft a player, and do everything they can, take nothing off the board. And it's not about being ugly. It's about being realistic. And the Jets fans, for a long time, have not been realistic, right? They get delusional.
Hey, Pop, Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely. And you go back to a few years ago, Boyd Green and I are sitting in a hotel room in Dallas, and I'm jumping up and down saying the Jets need to make a move in a trade week 2 of the season because Zach was not good, despite the shirt Boyd Green was wearing that weekend. Yeah. And they were like, no, we got this covered. We're the New York Jets. And they got it covered all right.
Yeah, they did blow that. So they need to explore all options. So Davis Mills is an option. Let's go to the option you want, Bob. You're infatuated with the man. It's Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Mendoza, the Indiana quarterback, getting, finding the solution for the Jets from the draft. So it sounds like you're all in. You're all over this guy. You want him to be the next guy for the Jets.
Yeah, but it also comes down to who the veteran is that they signed with him, because that veteran's going to have to be a terrific tutor and has to really be in support of whoever becomes the quarterback coach next year and the offensive coordinator. Engstrand seems, I think, is going to get renewed or maintained. I don't know if he's got a he probably has a multi-year contract. I doubt it's a 1 year.
For sure. Yeah. None of these guys are 1-year deals for sure. Definitely not.
Yeah. But, the thing about, and you laugh, and I'm only half kidding about Flacco because I grew up with watching another Jets quarterback who barely could move in the pocket, and he wasn't 43 years old. And if you have a really good offensive line and you have a guy who can get rid of the ball quickly, which Flacco has shown against a lot of teams this year, because he's not maneuverable against any defense. And look at the numbers he's put up and the threat that he's put on on the defenses he's played. And it's been against every defense that they've played. They've been a high scoring team virtually the entire season. Terrible defense. I mean, historically poor defense, but he consistently puts points on the board. Now he's got great receivers.
That helps.
So whoever the Jets bring in, when I first showed up here months ago, I said, what about, receiver number 2? And what are we going to do when they just stop our running game? Because we don't have a receiver number 2. So that's going to have to be a big part of the plan as well. And there probably will be wide receivers who are free agents that they can try to latch on to if they don't go after one in the draft. But I don't know. As you know, the Jets' record in the second round with wide receivers is not a very appealing prospect.
It is not, from Stephen Hills to Devin Smiths to Denzel Mims to Elijah Moores. That's off the top of the head.
That's off the top of your head.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. They was able to immediately pluck all those fruit from the tree, but here we are. So, yes, I agree. I think the veteran quarterback is super important because Mike Greenberg said it on the show a bunch of weeks ago that draft your rookie, whoever it is, and then just cryogenically freeze him. Don't go to him. Try to do a different development strategy. We always throw these rookie quarterbacks immediately into the fire, and then most of them, all of them have not been ready. Sometimes it works out for other teams, but for the Jets, maybe we should try something different here. And now Pops has gained the love and everything from Philly Noodles here.
Wow.
Don't get me going with Danny. Don't get me going with Danny Deliver Us from Evil Jones. Yeah, he is a big Daniel Jones guy. That's very clear.
Yeah, he's not getting out of Indianapolis for all the reasons you've expressed the entire week.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think if you go back, I was the one who brought up, and Philly Noodle hopped on the pop train, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Choo choo. But to no avail. The majority of the coffee club, including Boy Green, psh, no way, Daniel Jones, he's not good enough to be a Jet.
And he doesn't want to come back to New York. He's had enough.
He could have just moved across the. He could have just moved across the stadium to a different locker. But yes,
he had enough of New York.
No, we're not getting him back. But we could have maybe got him not to leave.
I don't know if that's true. Well, he did leave. He went to Minneapolis, so he literally left in the middle of the season. But I would say my thing wasn't that Daniel Jones was just terrible, and that's the reason why.
That's exactly what you said.
Well, there's another reason. He wasn't coming back to New York. He was just chastised for 5 years for everything that was going on, and it's the biggest media market in the world, and I think he was destined to leave regardless of the Jets situation. The Jets have had a terrible history with quarterbacks, and he knows that his next shot is his opportunity to do something with. Why would he have gone to the Jets? That's what I said. I said it in the moment, and I'm saying it now.
The 13-year-old boy leaning against the wall of the gymnasium, looking across at the girls, going, she's going to say no anyway, so I won't go over and ask her to dance.
You don't even know if they. You don't even know if they did reach out.
You kept leaning against the gymnasium.
It's not me. I'm not. I don't make these Jets decisions. I'm saying you don't know that the Jets explored it, and then he said no. We don't know that.
We know.
We don't know.
We know. Anyways,
well, even then, his performance in Indianapolis is shocking to me because even when he went to Minnesota and they picked him up, I wondered last year why. I don't know if they had another injury because Darnold was having the career year that everybody in New York hoped he would have with the Jets. And all Jones did was sit on the bench and absorb what the coach was teaching him. And there's another guy who knows how to, bring along a young quarterback. When he went to Indianapolis, I told you enough times, my son is a Colts fan, and he just shrugged his shoulders and said, I think we've hitched our wagon to the guy we drafted. And then in training camp, when their esteemed drafted quarterback got hurt, it was all Danny Jones or bust. So and his receivers his receivers are now acknowledged to be really good, but even in training camp, it was who? Who is this guy? Who is that guy?
Really, it was a Garrett Wilson situation. It was Michael Pittman's really good, but the rest are sort of questionable. I mean, that's the same sort of situation.
And Mitchell, who's now a Jet, was one of the the guys who was considered the late bloomer, the secret weapon because of everything he can do. And I'd love to hear Pop, what you think about Mitchell. You've been watching the game probably as long as I have, and how often can you get a wide receiver who has trouble catching the ball and teach him how to catch the ball?
Well, before you answer that, okay, Daniel Jones's options were this offseason, right? So you have Minnesota, Kevin O'Connell, quarterback whisperer. They just won 14 games. Indianapolis was a great offensive line, Jonathan Taylor and Shane Steichen, who's a Super Bowl winning offensive mind from his days with the Philadelphia Eagles, or the Jets. When was Daniel Jones going to pick the Jets in any of those? What sane person would have picked the Jets for that quarterback perspective? Oh, I know, Justin Fields, but very limited options. So you just say, oh, man, he didn't wait for Daniel Jones. He was never going to come here, man.
You're like revisionist history.
Revisionist history.
I will tell you this. You said on this show,
all right.
You said on this show that Justin Fields is a slam dunk compared to Daniel Jones.
Whoa, wait a second.
You said it. I didn't. You were like, man, I want to go to college.
As Warner Wolf used to say, let's roll out the videotape.
Yeah. Where's the videotape? I never said that. I did not say. I said he was a slam dunk for the Jets. If I said slam dunk for the Jets, I said that because I thought he was the best, most realistic option.
Consider Jones. You didn't want the Jets to consider Jones
because he wasn't going to consider us. So why play in fairyland? Oh man,
that's not why.
Okay. Which I said it at the time. So if you want to check tape, check the tape. You can check the tape. Well, I said in the moment he would have never come here.
But
that was my conversation of feeling everyone else.
Trash.
Well, what difference does it make what I want or don't want if he was never going to come here? So it doesn't matter. It's magical fairyland.
But you said he was trash.
But he didn't come here.
Well, you didn't even try.
Why did I not try? I'm just some random guy that does a podcast from a hotel room.
Anyways, but the bottom line is,
and look, we don't know if AG ever gave it a thought, or if they ever contacted his agent and said, "What if?" I mean, money talks. Money talks a lot. I don't know how much he's getting. What's he getting paid in Colts land this year?
1 year deal, $15 million.
Okay, well, we gave $30 million.
Well, it's a multiple.
To the guy that was supposedly our number one choice. And Pittsburgh didn't want to pay him that kind of money either, or guarantee that he was going to be the starting quarterback.
Yes, that's what we heard on both of those fronts.
If you pay per win, the Colts are getting a deal. But anyways, Daniel Jones will struggle this week he's going to play the best 17 players on the field. The Kansas City Chiefs and all the reps.
Yeah,
guys, what do you think of all of last year's AFC division winners struggling even to get into the playoffs this year?
Baltimore, Kansas City, Houston. Although Houston just with a great win last night on Thursday Night Football.
What in the world is? I mean, in Syracuse, you're in touch with Buffalo, and what in the world is going on in Buffalo?
Well, it's this Jekyll and Hyde stuff, right? So Bills fans are worried to all hell earlier in the season when they lose to New England. That was 9 wins ago for New England because they've won so many in a row. They lose that one, and Bills fans are a little leery, but they're like, we're still the boss. And then you're seeing some of these wins and losses happening again. We talked about the Falcons loss, which was inexplicable, despite all their talent that they have on the team. Then they beat the Bucs. Oh, everything's fixed. Just kidding. We lose to the Texans. So the Bills are there's a lot of questions about Sean McDermott. I think that's the best way to put it. Is he the right head coach to get them over the top? He has not gotten them over the top. They've been really good. I'm sure Jet fans would love that, of going from winning 5 AFC East crowns in a row, being in the playoffs all the time and things of that nature. But they've yet to appear in a Super Bowl, and obviously they've never won a Super Bowl. So Sean McDermott, that heat has to be intense, and also potentially Brandon Beane, their general manager, because what is it? Is it the cook in the kitchen, or is it the guy buying the ingredients, or is it both? Is it neither? I don't know. They're going to have to answer those pressing questions this offseason.
I think he's probably not long for Buffalo.
probably.
but he's going to get another job
For
very
sure,
quickly.
probably. Yeah,
And,
I would hope so.
and it wouldn't surprise me if it isn't a situation similar to the coach who left Philadelphia and went to Kansas City,
Ooh,
and
Andy
all of a
Reid.
sudden developed the golden touch.
Hey, I'd love the Midas touch of Sean McDermott doing all that for some other team. That would be
I would-
wonderful.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of winning football coaches on the market for next year, right? Mike McCarthy, Sean McDermott, and I think Chucky would be jumping back into the mix. But I think the story of the Buffalo Bills is really what we all knew, right? When they don't have a great offensive line, they don't have, especially with injuries, they don't have a wide receiver one, and Josh Allen is able to overcome that in most cases. But when he's faced with a defense where he can't throw the ball to his wide receivers because they're not getting separation, the offensive line is not holding up. It was purely Josh Allen was not greater than the defense of the Texans, and he was hampered by his offensive line and the quality of his wide receivers. That's why they lost last night.
By the way, real quick, Philly Noodles gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. All right, Pop, who do we got?
Hey, now, hold on. All right, we got some Philly Noodles. It is Fire Aaron Glenn.
Oh, Fire Aaron Glenn just received a membership. We saw him yesterday on our my show from the airport, doing the Jets Ravens show with Kevin Ostreicher. So there you have it. So
Philly immediately says, "I don't want my membership going to that account."
Yeah.
LMAO.
Which again, that is at random for those who don't know. That's 4 raffle tickets, by the way, this month with super chats and the membership.
By the way, Pop, whenever you get stuck on an English word this week and this week only, you can speak to us in Romanian.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yep, that option is always on the table. We have over 200 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe here on YouTube. That's a free way to contribute. I appreciate the memberships and super chats coming to the show, but the free way to expand this to a greater Jets audience by liking the video on YouTube. So, folks, whether you're watching live or after the fact, hit that like button here on the program because we have quite a decent number there watching on the YouTube channel. Get those things away from me. Because here's the thing. You guys, I wonder, when the Jets go into Baltimore and they beat the Ravens, are you guys going to be groveling on the ground saying, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Beachy, you were right. You were the best." Because all this...
You're going to have a worldwide audience tuning in for your post-game show tomorrow.
Could be to congratulate me on the boldness of my takes and believing in my team, perhaps. Is something else that I appreciate. More memberships coming in. Ryan McCarthy, baby.
Good move, Ryan.
There you go. All right. Where did this membership go, Pop?
Judy, Mark Baylor, Will Mack, Grinch Mob Jets for Life, Frank Agnostini.
Okay, there you go. 5 memberships coming in from our guy Ryan McCarthy, which we appreciate here on the program.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
There you go, baby.
And he's still on the market as a coach next year.
Oh, you think so? You don't think he gets his shot?
I think at some point, some owner is going to say, "You know what? I want to win. Let's give him a shot."
And he's a Super Bowl winner. It would make a lot of sense. He's an offensive guy, QB grinders, all that jazz. So I could totally see it. Ryan McCarthy has now 5 raffle tickets for our contest. So appreciate you, Ryan. And thank you so much for spreading all the love here in the Boy Green Coffee Club. There we go. And I'm keeping track of all that behind the scenes in the middle of our action. Boys, before we get to the phone lines, is there anything else you guys want to spew off here into the universe?
The only question I had has nothing to do with the Jets. It's for Pop, and that is Notre Dame had this great cornerback last year that got drafted, I think, in the 2nd or the 3rd round.
Much later. Riley Leonard was like a 7th round pick.
Yeah. Oh, well, really?
Yeah. 100%.
Wasn't he an All-American?
Yeah, let me pull this up. Yeah, he went to the Colts, but I'm pretty sure he was like a 6th round pick, if I remember. Yes, he was a 6th round pick. Let's see. He was the 189th overall pick. No, Colts. He did go to the Colts. 189th overall.
Okay.
There he was. He was not an All-American.
Okay.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Right. I just wanted to know because, boy, he was really impressive to me last year. I don't know. Maybe he's too small for the NFL. I don't know, but he seemed to be breaking up passes all over the field. Anyway, just was curious since I knew Pop would be on top of where he is and how he was doing.
Real quick, maybe I misheard you. Are you talking about quarterback or corner?
Cornerback.
Oh, corner. Oh, yes. Riley Leonard was the quarterback. Cornerback. Yes, that's the kid who went to the Chargers. His name's escaping me for a second. God, what's his name? Dom C was a big fan of him. Oh, my God, that's going to get me now. Let me go. Notre Dame drafted players now. Let's see if we can find this quickly. I think it's the Chargers is the one it's the name. God, it's escaping me now. Benjamin Morrison. He was a second-round pick. Yes, Benjamin Morrison is the player. He went to Tampa Bay.
53rd overall.
Yes.
Okay.
That's information 10 minutes ago. But yes, Benjamin Morrison. Yeah, he went to Tampa Bay, but they have a lot of they got a lot of depth over there. But yes, Benjamin Morrison, Tampa Bay, top 50 pick.
Yeah, and the only reason he was a top 50 pick was he was out all of 2024 with an injury, or he would have been a first round.
But I'm not going to belabor the point, but there was a guy. In fact, I'll look him up while we go to the phone calls and see who I'm talking about.
Okay.
But anyway, I just was curious.
All right, let's get a super chat in before we go to the phone lines. It's our good old buddy, old Yank, here on the show.
Wow.
And this will be the debate for the Jets. Okay, there's Fernando Mendoza people in our audience. There's Ty Simpson. Well, Julian Sayin, the Ohio State guy for next year. What are your all thoughts on him whenever he's available? His PFF stats are better than Mendoza. Just saying, safe travels, by the way. We made it there safe, so thank you so much, Old Yank. Appreciate that. Yeah, Julian Sayin is not eligible for this class. That's the Ohio State kid. He's available for 2027. We could go around the room real quick on this. Folks, what do you think about the Jets punting on quarterback in 2020? They're going to have to sign somebody, obviously. They're going to blow up the room and bring in somebody, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a first-round pick. What do you guys make of the Jets delaying the big draft quarterback decision? Say, 2027, this Julian Sayin kid, as an example, we'll figure it out then. Do you like that choice? Do you not like that choice? Because, if the Jets are bad next year, and then you go into 2027, that would be Aaron Glenn's third year, and you've had two back-to-back bad seasons, and then you're trying to figure it out then. Is he even the right person to make that decision? That's key. So we'll start off with you, Pop. 2027, waiting for that quarterback class instead of 2026. Are you for it or against it?
Yeah, I'm against it. I think, it's okay for the Jets to acknowledge that they're in the rebuild mode. But I would say, no Jets fan wants to wait to essentially skip a year. And B, Aaron Glenn, as many hugs as he can get from Woody, which I don't want any hugs from Woody, but as many hugs he gets from Woody, he probably shouldn't feel that comfortable, because now you draft in 2027, then you let him sit that year. Now you're 2028 before this guy even hits the field. That's a big hard pass. And Bob, I think you were talking about Xavier Watts.
Yeah, that's who I was talking about.
Oh, Notre Dame safety.
Safety. I said corner. He's a safety. He's on Atlanta.
And he fell. He went down to the third round or something for Xavier Watts.
I believe that's true. He's got a few. He has more interceptions in the entire New York Jets.
Interception? What's that?
Yeah. Okay. The bar is not very high.
How do you define an interception in Jets land?
Yeah, I don't know. And if they don't get one this weekend, they will be the first team in NFL history to go through 12 weeks to a season without recording one.
Yeah, in fairness, Xavier Watts has more interceptions than Sauce Gardner has his entire career.
How many does Xavier Watts have?
2.
Sauce Gardner has 3 interceptions.
How pathetic is it that you're arguing with me?
I don't need to argue.
It's played 9 games.
That's not arguing. That's
what did you think? What did you think of the question that the Jets DC got this week about is getting interceptions luck or is it skill?
And what was his answer?
What an embarrassing question to ask a defensive coordinator.
Well, to be honest, I think it's a combination of all the things because the ball bouncing up in the air, I think there's something to, and I argue with this with people all the time, I think there's something to tape study. When a guy consistently is in the right place at the right time, I don't think that's luck. I think he's just always around the ball, and that's just ball knowledge. He's just ready to rock and roll. So I think it is a combination of both. I don't know how Steve Wilkes answered that question, but I think it is a combination of both. Bob, what's real quick? What's your thoughts on waiting for 2027 for the draft for quarterback? Are you for that or against it?
If they can't get Fernando, I wait.
Okay, which again could be
unless you want to draft somebody in the 3rd or the 4th round and just take a crack at somebody.
I think they should do that, quite frankly. If let's say they don't draft Fernando in the 2nd or 3rd round or 4th round or wherever it is, draft a quarterback. Why not? Take multiple swings at it. It's someone you believe in, of course, and take him, develop him, and then we'll see whatever happens. That guy may inevitably get on the field in his rookie year if he's paired with some Davis Mills. If he's paired with that guy, maybe that rookie gets on the field. And then if you still see nothing, then okay, 2027, swing again.
You don't want to draft in the 3rd round. It's too important to pick. Oh, we don't have a 3rd round pick.
We don't. So it would have been important to pick for most teams.
4th round,
Sure.
Basically it's a dart throw anyway. But we talked about this as well in recent weeks. It's scouting. You got to have scouts who can really discern and really zero in on a guy. I mean, I've read about the scouts with Brady and how they wanted the Patriots to take Brady earlier, and they finally took him in the 6th round. When you got a scout who believes in you, who thinks that you can be something better than you seem to be, that's when you want to count on somebody. Scout who believes that strongly in somebody, I think is. Well, I won't say they're really wrong because, who really knows? But when you have that kind of person in your corner, I think it's worth a look. If you trust the guy in your organization, and if you don't trust him, why is he in your organization?
It's a fair point. So, yeah, Old Yank, I just want the Jets to find a franchise quarterback. I don't care when it obviously, I'd prefer it sooner if that's a choice. But if they don't believe a guy is the guy in 2026, I don't want them to force the pick for no reason. I want them to everybody, head coach, GM, coaching staff, everyone to believe, guys, this is our guy. He's a franchise quarterback. If it's Fernando, then be aggressive, trade up. I don't care if you give up picks. If you guys believe that's the guy, no one cares about the price you paid if it works. If it doesn't work, you're embarrassed forever. So you just have to be right. So no pressure.
Well, that extra pick from the Colts could be a difference maker.
Could be a bargaining chip. Who knows?
Yeah.
Old Yank, appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat. All right, without further ado, we'll play halftime out and your phone calls next.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Buzzing daily, buzzing daily, buzzing daily. Talking Jets football, man. Buzzing daily, buzzing daily, buzzing daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone, J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets. Buzzing daily, buzzing daily, buzzing daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green, buzzing daily, buzzing daily, buzzing daily. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go!
Here's the old hipster joining us here on the program. Phone lines are wide open. Before we get there, quick shout out. This is the prize you guys are competing for this month. A beautiful autographed Marty Lyons jersey, a New York Jets legend and college football legend. He is in the College Football Hall of Fame. Also was inducted into the Jets Ring of Honor in 2013. It's autographed to the Boy Green Coffee Club. If you wanted a chance to win this beautiful jersey and an autographed hat from Marty Lyons, I don't have that with me. Shout out to Carl. That's at the house. But you guys will get this Marty Lyons autographed bonanza. All you have to do is spend $3 on the channel to have an opportunity, and you guys can do that throughout the rest of November. We'll be gifting this prize pack out on December 1st. All right, without further ado, let's go to the phone lines. We got a lot of phone calls to get here. Pop, in Bob's place. Who do we got first?
It's Hep.
Nope. Here's Hep.
Hey guys, I just want a quick kind of like just housekeeping. Now you're not doing the play-by-play on Sunday, right?
We'll see if there's some miracle for it. I'm flying in at like 10. It takes about 45 minutes to get home, so it might be dicey.
50-50.
Yeah,
50-50.
50-50.
Check it in. If you're not, that's okay. We'll get you at the post game, right?
Well, maybe you should do a poll and see if the coffee club would appreciate if you did it for the second half. You just planned on doing the second half.
Sure.
That might be a sign. Okay, that's an
Hef,
idea.
we're all waiting for we're waiting for the post game.
Right, we're waiting for that. Right.
We're all waiting for the post game.
Now, I just also wanted to remind you, Paul, to do that, recreate that Rudy moment where you do the
Oh.
close up of Pop's face, and Pop says, "This is the most beautiful sight these eyes have ever seen," and then you
Yeah.
go, "Come on, Pop." And you bring him back.
Yeah. I just rewatched Rudy this week. I told my dad that you told that story on air about, hey, you guys got to do that. And then when I posted to the world, Instagram, Twitter, and all these places that we're going to the Notre Dame game, I had a lot of people saying that too. Oh, you gotta like recreate that scene and this scene. And I said, yeah, we'll try to take as many. We're not going to walk away from this or not. Geez, damn, we sort of took too many photos here. What's going on? So
Well, the only scene I don't want to see you do is to get on the field and try to do a sack on somebody.
Yeah, there you go. Give me the helmet, coach. 7 seconds left in the game.
Oh my God. He's so small.
Yeah, what a great movie.
Yeah. I heard Martinez was released by San Francisco.
Yeah, but immediately picked back up, unfortunately. So Brock Purdy was healthy, so they brought him back. Adrian Martinez was cut. Well, technically waived. The difference between waiving and cutting, for those who don't know, is waiving. You're up subject to waivers. Anyone can take it. If they don't, which no one did, he cleared waivers, and now the choice is his. So if the Jets offered him a spot on the practice squad or 49ers or any of these teams, he got to pick. So he chose to return back to San Francisco.
Well, what does a practice squad player get paid?
I think I looked it up the other day.
$5,000 a week.
Yeah, okay, there you go. It's $5,000 a week, Pop says.
No matter, everybody gets the same thing.
Yes, there is no delineation between quarterback, this, that, or the other. Maybe service time gives you a little bit of different one because your veteran minimum is higher. So you what is it?
There it is. Players with 2 or fewer years of experience earn a minimum, so you can get more. It's not a standard. You get a minimum of $13,000 per week in 2025.
Oh wow, that's not so bad.
While veterans with more than 2 years have a minimum of $17,500 with a maximum of $22,000 per week.
See,
per week.
Oh, sign me up. I can get the ball.
Good.
Anyway, thanks, guys. I'll see you on the rebound.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hef joining us here on the show. One of the best.
So that's $374,000 for anybody keeping track of.
So there you go. So again, I figured service time had to play a factor.
Yeah, so that's about 2 season ticket holders.
Yeah, right. Not too shabby at all. That's pretty good. All right, let's go next on the phone lines. We got a Badshaw here on the program. Badshaw, nice legs.
Good morning. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
What do y'all know?
Good morning.
Anything good?
Yeah.
Pop, you look nice and happy this morning.
Well, in my temporary quarters, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, there you go. Not bad.
Good deal. Good deal. So first off, Pop, while you and Paul are together, at some point, I know y'all are going to be busy, but y'all need to watch the new Naked Gun movie. Like, I think y'all would enjoy that because I've heard y'all kind of reference some of the older Naked Gun movies. Y'all definitely need to watch that if y'all haven't seen that yet with Liam
Neeson. Yeah, I've not seen it.
Yeah.
Yet.
Well, Seth MacFarlane directed it for Family Guy,
okay.
so it's freaking hilarious. But anyway.
I'll have to check it out. It was on the airplane to Romania. I just didn't watch it.
No.
Oh, Pop, you got to watch it. Well,
You guys got
to
spend spend this afternoon watching Newt Rockney All American. Come on.
There you go. Or Rudy jumping up on the chair and saying this and this.
Y'all need to watch that Saturday Night Live skit of they were making fun of Rudy. It was pretty funny. But so first off, every month my wife gives me a pedicure, and you're like, what does this have to do with anything? So some of the quarterbacks that I heard everybody talking about in the chat that we would love to have it. This is how sad it's gotten to where we're like bottom feeding for some of these quarterbacks because ours is just trash. And I'm not going to say any of the quarterbacks mentioned aren't better than what we've got. But I would like to see how Tyrod Taylor is this Sunday against Baltimore, a good old revenge game, you know. So I definitely would like to see that. But you know, when I'm getting my toenails clipped, my dog, he's around. You know, you're clipping your toenails, your nails are shooting off places, you know, all over the house. My dog is like pushing people out of the way because my dog likes eating my toenails.
Oh,
And so he's like, he's like running around pushing my wife out of the way, like, ooh, sour cream and onion. You know, he's just going to town on it. That is what it sounds like how y'all are getting so excited about some of these quarterbacks that were mentioned earlier. That is how my dog is with my toenails. Like, he is just like, oh my gosh, this is Thanksgiving. Like, this is the greatest day of my life. You know, he gets so excited. I'm like, guys, what are we doing here? Like, some of the, like, I mean, all of these quarterbacks I've heard, like, besides, like, Joe Burrow, you know, I'm not excited about any of them. And now, like I said, I'm not saying that they're not better than what we've got. It's just sad the state of our quarterback room right now. You know, I don't know. But maybe Tyrod can turn it around. You know, I'm not for sure. Out of some of the guys that was listed earlier, I mean, who's your all three? Like, I wanted to get all three of your opinions. Like, who's somebody in free agency? Like, because I know people are talking about Davis Mills now. Do y'all think he's legit, or do you think? I didn't think the Texans were going to be a bad team this year. So I think some of it might be the Texans are just a good team, and he just so happens to be on their team. But what are your thoughts?
all right. Let's get your top toenails. We'll start with you, Bob.
Hey, look, the Jets quarterback room has been a disaster, with a few exceptions, for about 60 years.
Yeah.
So anybody that can stand up and throw the ball with accuracy, to me, is okay. It wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
I can't name a name because we've all talked about the obvious ones all week.
Sure.
Anybody who can stand back there and throw with some accuracy. Again, this is a transition quarterback. This is not supposed to be a guy.
Right.
I mean, it could be a big name. Look what's happened in Indianapolis. Look what happened with the Giants. You know, you bring in a name quarterback, and he lasts 5 or 6 games until the kid is ready to play. So you're not going in for, you know, primo quality to be your quarterback for 6 games. You're going to pay him a nice salary for a year or two to make him feel comfortable, but that's about it. So I don't have any high expectations if the Jets draft a quarterback for next year, and I'm not convinced that they're necessarily going to be in position to get Fernando just because of their draft position, even if the teams ahead of them don't need a quarterback, because it's very likely that other teams that like Fernando are going to try to trade up to grab him. So if the Jets are sitting at 5 or 6, they're going to have to be aggressive in going out and getting him. They'll find out what the market is, but they're going to have to be aggressive about it, I'm convinced, if they believe in the guy.
Well, Badshaw, with so many, you know, delectable of these toenails on the ground to choose from, the free agent options look gross. So to me, I think if I'm the Jets, while I try to vet it out and see if there's a diamond in the rough out there, I'm probably exploring the trade market. There are a lot of backup quarterbacks, or how it's complicated with 3 quarterbacks in a room. For instance, I saw my dad looking up this potential name, Jameis Winston.
Oh, come on, what are you? You can't come up with your own shit.
I'm saying I'm going in a whole different direction. I'm just saying the path that I'm going.
And that's why you jumped in front of me, because I was going after Bob. All right. So, anyways, I'll go. So if you want to put some butts in the seats, everyone can agree that in 2026 the Jets aren't going to the playoffs. That's not their design. You want someone to come in that's averaged 230 yards a game passing in his career. Someone that has proven himself, who'd be exciting. He'll throw that ball around the yard. I get Jameis Winston on a similar contract that you got Justin Fields.
He's not a free agent. He has to trade.
Yeah, sure. All right, go ahead.
Well,
now you're not going to steal my shit. Go
I
ahead.
didn't steal your shit. I said the path. I said you can have the player. I'm talking about the path. The path is the free agent option sucks. So you need to trade. You have to explore the backup trade market. Like the name you're going to say. I give you credit. I didn't just say, here's my idea.
And by the way,
Jameis Winston.
people like crab legs better than they like toenails. If you know what I'm talking about, that's worth a Google. Jameis Winston crab legs.
So yeah. So again, I would explore the trade market. I try to find someone's backup. Now, again, there's going to be unique situations where, again, the Giants. Is Russell Wilson just gone off into the universe? Is Jameis their new permanent backup moving forward? Would they be willing to move on a guy like Jameis? So him and other backups. We've already explored Mac Jones earlier this week. He's under contract. I don't really like the person, but again, maybe I shouldn't be picky. Being captain quarterback, our quarterbacks suck. So let's explore those options. So Davis Mills is somebody EZ brought up. So a backup quarterback with the team would probably be option number one of we need something for 2026. We all agree that we want, in a perfect world, the ripe fruit off the tree that's a young rookie that's our guy for the next 20 years. That'd be awesome. But we're going to have to pick multiple options. That we can't just pick that rookie. They're going to blow up the quarterback rooms. They're going to need a veteran too. So we'll see who they explore.
And I don't think you want to give up too much draft capital for some guy on another. Like everyone talks about the Eagles' backup quarterback.
Sure,
and
Tanner McKee.
He was drafted in the 4th round, and the Eagles are asking for a 2nd-round pick, for him. I mean, you don't want to do that for a guy who's basically just going to be a stand-in for a half a year or a year.
Right.
Well, and now is he? Because I honestly haven't watched anything on Tanner McKee. Is he legit, or is that just Nick Faria being an Eagles fan and prompted him up?
So I I didn't write a piece. Well, I did write a piece, but this is not the piece. I'm not referencing my own writing. There was a piece written from The Athletic on Tanner McKee. He's a cancer survivor. He had all this talent, and he's been in this quarterback room developing, and he's balled out in the preseason, and there's been all these signs that he's a franchise guy, but he's buried in Philadelphia. They have Jalen Hurts, so this guy's never going to get on the field. So it doesn't feel like Faria stuff is Faria stuff. So, but other people have written this beyond Nick that think this guy has legitimate potential, and to potentially not Bob's point is that maybe this guy isn't just a stand-in, that he's young enough where he could be your guy. And in 2026, uniquely, which again was what I was talking about trading for a quarterback. So Tanner McKee certainly fits that bill of what I'm talking about. He would have a runway in 2026 to prove if he's something. If he's nothing, then he's just either your long-term backup or whatever. But if he proves he's something, wow, you just found a creative way to find your franchise quarterback potentially going forward. Bad shot, love it. Thanks for the call and the very weird story about your toenails. But we have a lot of other callers to try to get through here on the show. Again, we're going to have a shorter edition of this program here. Go ahead, Bob.
No, I was going to just say, I was going to repeat what I said before, so there's no point to it.
Okay. Up next, Easy making breakfast. Easy?
I'm just making some coffee.
Oh, coffee. Great. Makes the world go
I got
round.
the Keurig over here. Boom, cup. There. Bang. Hit that little button there. That makes it stronger, and then cup size. Boom. It's going.
All right. Beautiful. All right,
Boom.
Easy. What's on your mind?
You should have made a bet, more like trying soup and coffee rather than cutting your face off. I mean,
I'm an idiot, Easy. I think we've established this. So
yes.
I'm a moron. And real quick, just to address the audience, because I heard
your dad should be slapping the shit out of you.
I'm from Syracuse, and we're doing all
not from my loins. He couldn't possibly be from my loins.
Right. So from the loins. I never thought that statement would be said on the show today. But I see a lot of people saying
you
this.
You didn't think someone would be talking about their dog eating their fucking toenails either. Never say anything fucked up about me again. Okay? That was insane.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm not gonna lie. That was very
his
weird.
Wife is making hors d'oeuvres out of his toes. Get the frig out of here. Come on, man. That was just that. Nuts.
There's a lot of weird stuff that gets said on this show. I would say
this show is great.
Yeah, it is
great. That's why
it's unique. It can't be copied. Everyone keeps saying, "Why is Paul from Syracuse, but he's wearing full Notre Dame gear?" I'll explain the story very quickly, very simply. My dad.
We know the story.
Yeah, but
we know the story. You did the last year and the year before.
Yeah, well, apparently we have to keep telling it. So again, the fast version is this:
you go to Mecca every year.
No, we do not. This is our first time ever going to it. So,
Oh, I didn't know you didn't go.
okay, that's all right. That's why we're telling the
You
story.
didn't go last year? I thought you guys went last year.
No, we didn't go. So again, the quick version of the story is this: Dad's a diehard Notre Dame fan. That's how we were raised. We moved to the New York area in 2008. Got season tickets to see Syracuse football. Became transplant Syracuse football fans. Anytime Syracuse and Notre Dame have played, which all of a sudden, as soon as we moved here, started to become a more frequent encounter in the ACC. We've always donned our Notre Dame gear for these games. So yes, we're from Syracuse, that area, for a long time, but we're diehard Notre Dame fans. That's why we're in full Notre Dame gear. So yo, Holmes, and everyone else who's asking, that's why. DC, go ahead. What's your question?
Well, hey, I grew up in Long Island, and me and my buddy, we agreed on a lot of sports. The only things we didn't agree on is I was a Jets fan. Well, actually, there were a couple. I was a Jets fan. He was a Cowboys fan. I'm an Islanders fan. He's a Rangers fan. But we both liked the Mets. We both liked the Knicks. We both liked Florida State in college football. I mean, we had a bunch of stuff that we had common likes. We used to love to go to the Met game. Back in the day, you'd get in for 50 cents. And you'd pay a guy $1.50, and he'd move you down to the box seats.
Mhm.
That was when the Met. That was in the dark days of the Mets.
You wait till the sixth inning, and you just walk down there yourself.
By the way, look at this. The super chat coming in for the second time in 2 days.
Wow.
Which aren't cool. I brought this up on the show yesterday. He says Notre Dame is ass cheeks. I said it yesterday. I say it again. Go Canes. Miami squeaking past Notre Dame, in the opening game of the season.
Yeah, you guys play Syracuse this year?
Well,
ask Cam Warren about. Anyways,
but also I can just say this: back with turn cool. Miami's not going to the college football playoff if Notre Dame wins these final 2 games they're going in. So suck it, Miami, you bastards. But thanks for the super chat coming in.
By the way, I see that Fox Sports mentioned my man Luke Altmaier of Illinois as a possibility.
Sure, yeah, could be another choice. Potentially to consider.
4-year starter. He's got enough experience under his belt.
That's definitely for sure.
Could be a sleeper.
Getting back to quarterback, though, I mean, this is a very serious thing. Like, I'm starting to think that the only way the Jets are going to get this kid Mendoza is if they unceremoniously just lose out.
They can trade up. They got picks.
No, see, Bob agrees with me. I'm trying. Here's the whole thing, and I think me and Bob are older. We've been through the mill. We've seen it all.
Okay.
I do not want to waste this insane amount of great draft capital where we had to give up 2 of our best players to get this capital to invest in the future. And you're telling me that if these knuckleheads that are coaching can't turn this shit around, that we should trust them to mold this team? No.
If we get the quarterback, the rest of it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. So, I don't care what they trade for him. In a perfect world, I'd love the franchise quarterback to drop from the Stars. If we have the 5th overall pick, they're the 5th overall pick. That's what I'd like in a perfect world. But if we have to trade up,
Paul, you're still a tadpole. You don't understand what it's like to be a Jets fan. You're a tadpole.
You risk.
You haven't even grown your arms yet. You got T-Rex arms right now.
You risk losing, getting that at wide receiver 2 or the
right.
You can figure that out later.
Because I have a formula. I want to get Mendoza's wide receiver in the draft. I want the guy to come onto this team and have instant familiarity. I asked earlier in the chat who's his favorite wide receiver, and it's this kid Surratt. And he's supposedly coming out in the draft this year too. I would love to get Mendoza and Surratt. So when he comes on the field during practice, he already has this one-on-one connection with this kid. He'll build it with the other guys, but at least he's got this guy that he knows where he's going to be. He's going to be at the garbage can next to the Buick on every play, and he can get the ball to him. I mean, we got to turn this back into a game again. It's got to be fun. It can't be all corporate bullshit. I mean, I know it is, but it's still a game. And these guys have got to start playing it like it's a game again. They have to play it with heart and soul. A lot of these guys, after their first contract, they start making business decisions on the field. Like, that was the problem with Sauce. Sauce started making money, and he was making business decisions. He did not want to get his fucking bell rung. He did not want to get his arm ripped off his body trying to tackle one of those big running backs.
Wow.
There you go. Roll Tide, Ty Simpson, Brady Cook, Mac Jones comp. There you go. As
Hop,
another,
what do you think of Ty Simpson?
What?
he asked you what you thought of Ty
What do you
Simpson.
think of Ty Simpson?
I don't know anything about Ty Simpson.
Did you watch him play?
I don't know.
You watched him play for Alabama?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of.
I haven't. I don't watch college football. I don't watch a lot of college
Well,
football.
I don't either, but I was watching the end of the game last week against who'd they play?
And we'll circle back because we're trying to get to
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They played, and the thing that struck me that he gets intimidated real quickly by a big pass rush. And after the game, his coach talked about the fact that it was 4 or 5 games in a row that he had fumbled when the pass rush came. So he's got some ball issues, and he's got some intimidation issues too. Yeah, you
All
want to
right.
be back?
Yep. Sorry, I haven't. It's
I
the
was getting
hotel.
ready to take over the show, but you're back. So
No, that's okay. We have the hotel, so we're going to have
Yeah.
Wi-Fi issues heading out here. So here's what we're going to do. We have a lot of callers, so we're going to try to go rapid fire so everyone
Good.
gets a chance to come on the show before we dip. So
Good.
we're going to fire through a bunch of people here. And up next, Philly Noodles.
Hey, I just want to say real quick, I like my Easy when he's singing more than he's talking right there. No offense.
Yeah.
Bob, I'm with you on something you said a little while back. The conundrum is if you got scouts in the building that like somebody, but if you don't trust the scouts, that's the whole problem. We have an internal issue with scouting of QBs as period end of story. Anybody who's available.
What do you think of Ty Simpson? Have you watched him at all?
Ty, I've heard from reputable people posting everywhere. He's the prototypical quarterback coming out. He's supposed to be the better quarterback down the road. He's a better high ceiling quarterback versus Mendoza. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if it fits your system, then you go with that. So if Goff is more like a Mendoza, then you just go with Mendoza at that point. But like Pop said, you can't wait an extra year and then at 2028 be like, hey guys, we're here finally. That's not going to work. You're hoping what? Josh Allen gets old? That's not going to happen. The guy's running through walls.
So you're in Paul's school of saying trade up if you have to get the guy you want.
I mean, you acquired a massive picks. Yeah, you can give up next year's. You can still swing at a wide receiver this year. If you're in 5 and you got to go to 1 or 2, you can move this year's 1 and next year's 1. You got 3 next year, and you can still get a wide receiver like you want. There's too many ways to go around this. We are rich in draft picks right now, so that's not the problem.
We are also poor in quality players all over the field.
We need to go get a QB coach. Period. End of story. That can get the job done with that staff. But
okay.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it, Philly. Thank you so much, pal. Let's keep rolling here on the phone train. Up next, Uncle Indy.
Well, hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to South Bend, guys. We appreciate you showing the love and support there. Good morning, Bob.
Good
morning. I hear you're on grandpa duty.
Yeah, we got 3 of them here, and I've been parceled up to another room because, well, the noise would be a little bit disconcerting.
Yeah, well, I got the little one with me today too, so we're both on grandpa duty today.
And one of mine is a little boy, and he just loves his grandpa. He comes over to me all the time. He wants to hug me, and it's great.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. So what's on your mind, Indy?
Okay, BG, real quick. Do you know how many the goal is to get a quarterback that will take us to the Super Bowl? Is that correct?
Yes.
I mean, would you all, as football players, you would all agree to that?
Yep.
Okay, so do you know how many starting quarterbacks there have been in the starting quarterbacks that started in the Super Bowl?
Right now, you're saying of the 32 teams and the 32 starting
No. In the history of the NFL, how many quarterbacks have started a Super Bowl?
Oh,
about 120.
No, 67. There's been 67 different starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
How many of those have won?
Well, obviously, it would be. I mean, there's 67 starting quarterbacks that's ever started an NFL a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
okay, and now out of that 67, 27 of them were not drafted by the team.
Interesting.
Okay, that they went to the Super Bowl with. Now this is winners and losers, right?
Yeah,
So that
sure.
means 40. That leaves you 40 starting, 40 different starting quarterbacks were drafted by the team.
That's a fascinating fact.
Okay. Now, do you know how many of those 40 that the team traded draft picks in the draft to go get their guy?
I do not. What? It sounds like you have that answer.
Yeah. Dylan Terryman and I went down a rabbit hole last night, and okay, so out of that 40 that took their team to the Super Bowl, that drafted them, zero quarterbacks where a team traded picks in the draft to move up in that top 5 or top 10.
Yeah, that's actually not true. Eli Manning was traded.
Eli Manning was drafted by who?
The Chargers.
Thank you. So he did not take the team that he was drafted by.
That's a weak argument. He was.
No, isn't it? Was he drafted? Did the Giants trade up in the draft to get Eli?
They did. I mean, they gave up multiple first-round picks and all kinds of picks to get his draft rights. They essentially traded up to get him. Yes.
Yeah.
They traded up after the draft because technically Eli.
In the middle of the draft.
Wait. The Giants drafted who?
Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers. Then they made the trade, right?
Well,
then they made the trade.
But the point is that the Giants wanted Eli Manning, and they gave up the draft rights, players, and everything that was required. It was a massive haul to get their guy. They could have just rode out with Philip Rivers, but they didn't. If they rode out with Philip Rivers, you'd be right. That's the quarterback they had. But they traded the rights. It was draft night. Eli held up a Chargers jersey for 5 seconds.
Exactly. So my point is the Giants didn't draft Eli. The Giants drafted Philip Rivers. Is that true?
Hey, Johnny
Okay.
Cochran. The glove would have fit if you put it on right.
It's not an if. No, it's not an if. That's the reality of that. The Chargers drafted Eli.
This is not on the
Indy,
list.
you've had so many interesting facts here that I'm like, wow, oh, fascinating.
No, wait a minute.
Did
the Giants trade draft picks and then go make the draft pick for Eli?
Yes.
They did, because how did they do that when they drafted Philip Rivers?
As I recall, Eli got drafted by San Diego, #1, and the Giants took Rivers #4. And right after the Rivers selection,
wait, what about John Elway? He was traded.
John Elway was drafted by who?
The Colts.
Okay, so he didn't take the Colts to the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
That's my point. Is he didn't take the team that was drafted by him to the Super Bowl?
Okay,
but
so
the
what's
team
your
team that he played for traded the assets to get him, which was the whole point of the thing. You're suggesting that if the Jets do this, no other team in history has ever done this, but that's not really true.
Okay, but Indy, get to the point. What's the point that you want to make?
My point is like Alan has said, there's not a quarterback in the draft that's worth trading assets to go get.
Mm-hmm.
So if Mendoza's not there, then you don't go after him, because he's not the generational. There's no generational type. You don't have an Andrew Luck out there. You don't have a Peyton Manning out there. Those were, I think, Andrew Luck was probably the last, as you know, that people use that word generational way too much. Trevor Lawrence was not the Andrew Luck type of quarterback. And so when you don't have that kind of, and you know that your quarterbacks in the draft are a shot in the dark, don't trade assets to go get him. If he's not there, he's not there. When you go to pick, you may have to pick somebody else. But to trade assets to go get a shot in the dark is a bad move. And throughout history, it shows that, especially in the top 5.
Okay, fair enough. There's Indy points on that. I don't know if I agree with all of them, but you have the right to partay. All right, up next, we've got Alon, beard trimmer himself.
Good morning, gentlemen. First of all, I have a message for Tatiana. I know she is not a big fan of mine, and I wish I could apologize for what I'm going to do to her husband but
Wow.
I really have no heart, so it doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
He
Well, I
deserves what he
appreciate you.
deserves.
Okay,
And
there
you
you
know the person to blame on this? You blame your father-in-law. Thank you very much. Okay. So as far as the Jets are concerned, there is no quarterback in this draft I would trade for. I would
Okay.
not trade any assets. So I love listening to Philly, but you have to be patient when it comes to this rebuild. You have 8 draft picks in the first 2 rounds. Be patient and let the players come to you. Don't chase your player. Use the 2026 off season with all that cap space and with all those draft picks and build the team around the quarterback. You can find a quarterback on day 2 or late day 2 or early day 3 and have him be a dart throw, and then you can find a veteran and have him be the bridge. There's no one in this draft, whether it's Mendoza or whether it is Simpson, that you would trade any assets for to move up. Okay. You have 3 number 1s in 2027 in a much better quarterback class. Saying Manning,
as it seems to be right now.
Yeah. Saying Manning, Carr, most likely Dante Moore. If you have 3 first-round picks in 2027, then you could move up for your quarterback. But utilize all that draft capital and use all that cap space and have 2026 be that building year where you can build all that talent around the quarterback. That's the most important thing. So I think the major problem with Jet fans is they lack patience. I understand the team has been garbage for the last 15 years. You can wait a couple of more years and build a team the correct way. I listen to a lot of these content creators and they want an instant fix. Unfortunately, with this draft class, there is no instant fix. Mendoza is a good quarterback prospect. He isn't a phenomenal quarterback prospect. And if I was Ty Simpson, I know he's going to be a top 5 pick. If I was him, I would go back to school, but I don't know if he will. Okay.
Yeah.
I would not trade up for any of these quarterbacks. It makes no sense. If you like Mendoza, the best avenue is to lose out, go 2-15, be a top 2 pick, and let him fall to you. Do not trade any capital, whether it's 2026 capital or 2027 capital, for any of these quarterbacks. That's the bottom line.
Fair enough. Alon?
Alon, it's been our pleasure, and have a good Shabbat.
Have a good Shabbat. And Paul, play with your hair again a little bit. Okay. Don't worry. In a couple of days, it'll be gone. Have a good one, guys.
No, there he is. All right. One last caller, and then we'll put a bow on this puppy. We got Notre Dame things to do out here. So, Bill Aimley, finish us off.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good morning, Bill.
It's kind of hard to, or kind of hard to reconcile actually telling us we got to be patient and wait at least another year to get our quarterback when a largely impatient fan base is saying otherwise. I find that interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
So who is Notre Dame scheduled to play this Saturday?
Syracuse. So they play Syracuse.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. All right. I used to remember the USC Notre Dame games.
That's
when I
next
used
week.
to watch
The
them.
Jeweled Shillelagh.
Those were crazy.
That's right. Which is something.
Yeah.
Else.
Those were memorable matchups.
Right. Unfortunately, I don't watch the college games over as much as I used to, say 10 years ago and before that. I used to watch every Saturday all the different games and root for Notre Dame and for the Sooners, because that was my other college team that I like to watch. So I saw the Buffalo game yesterday, and I couldn't believe that Buffalo ended up losing.
Yeah, but great for us. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Screw Buffalo.
I hear that. Yeah, definitely Texas's defense is amazing.
Yeah.
I was not aware that they were that strong defensively.
Yeah, number 1 in the league heading into the game, and they just proved it during the game.
Oh yeah. The front four was awesome, putting so much pressure on him. So maybe the Jets can take a page from that as they get their defense together.
We can only hope, Bill. We can only hope.
And shut these guys down.
Well, we'll need that kind of effort on Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens. We'll see if we can get it.
Yeah.
Bill, you're the best, baby. Thanks for checking in, and go Irish.
Yep, and go Jets Sunday.
Me too. Yeah, we'll have another show.
But not too much.
Yeah, but not too
much.
Because
there are big plans on Sunday afternoon.
So. That there is. We'll see what those plans entail. Shout out to the
moral victory time on Sunday.
Could be. Shout out to the 300 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. We appreciate you guys. We got Notre Dame stuff to do. We'll see you tomorrow morning for an edition of Boy Green Daily.